I literally try so hard to be strong all the time, you know. But this one hurt. This one hurt. Like, I don't know. It just like really. And I'm laughing because like that's like the only way that I can keep my sanity. But I just love my son and miss him so much. And it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that I can't see him the way that I want and keep him the way that I want. I just had to fucking like breathe for a second because I know this is just temporary. Like literally, bro, it's just temporary. But I feel like so much time is flying and it's so heavy on my chest because he's so young and I want to be there, a part of his life for every step. I'm not. I said I was getting myself together. I'm gonna actually go get myself together.
I hope she is able to get herself together. But, I mean, we have to try to understand and try to piece things together because she didn't give us much context, right? And the first things that to me are pretty obvious that we can piece together here is, I mean, for one, she clearly seems like an impulsive person, right? Just off first appearance. You know, she has a lot of tattoos and she has holes all running through her face, which, in my opinion, that's impulsive, right? Which could indicate how she ended up in the situation through the behavior. Now, you know, she doesn't apparently have her son right now and she's homeless. And impulsivity can contribute to that, as well as
Like, that's like,
you see here, she has like the crystals and stuff on her neck, right? So she's into crystals, which could also indicate more of a free spirited lifestyle, which directly opposes a lifestyle like mine's, which is absolutely built on structure. And kids need structure. So I know she mentioned, you know, she's going to get it together, and I hope she can. But there's probably going to be a lot of things that's going to have to change, as far as just the way she moves and maybe even the way she thinks. Because what it could come down to is she could be prioritizing being a free spirit, having fun, as opposed to what we a lot of times see, not prioritizing her child, right? And, you know, we're just going off of some of the context, but, you know, definitely wish her the best in that she's able to turn things around on her journey. Before we get into the next clip, y'all, if you could do me a favor, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second and it helps me out tremendously. I know it's easy to forget. I forget all the time. But if you could like right now, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and get into the next clip.
how I just got evicted. So, one thing about me, I don't talk about anything that I am currently in until I'm out of that. And this is one place that I did not publicly talk about, but I was putting people on the outside or whatever, and I definitely was going to talk about it after I move out. Now, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I'm not a girl who ever been in a low income place or Section 8 or anything. I always got the finer things in life, but this was a stepping stool for me. Certainly because my last place I paid $3,000 a month, and I needed to fix my credit. And while fixing my credit, I didn't feel the need to apply to another place, and I was not going to renew my last lease. So this is the nonprofit organization that I currently was living at, and they help families get back on their feet. They don't run your credit, anything. They do a background check. You can't have no type of marijuana smoke, any of that, and you can't have no liquor living here. Okay, cool. Passed my drug test. I moved in here like January or whatnot. It was so satisfying to live here. However, when I did see the place, my client had put me on prior to this, and it was like, oh, okay, cool. But when I moved here, I ain't gonna lie, I was crying. My mama and my godmama was trying to help me like realize, like, Mo, you not here to get comfortable. Like you looking at for you and your daughter, Woodward, right? But y'all gotta also understand it's coming from a person who never had a white stove or a white refrigerator.
Oh my gosh.
My very first apartment was the same complex my mom lived in. It was just mine was a 1 bedroom, luxury. Every apartment after that was luxury. This is not luxury, but it's okay because I was grateful. Okay, that's like a little back end story that I was talking about. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit more in detail on how I.
So clearly she's trying to save face, right? Clearly she's trying to save face for the internet as far as, she feels like she's used to the finer things in life and she's used to luxury. And, I think this is going to be possibly this could be a very impactful time in her life because it may ground her a little bit more. It might give her a little bit more humility. Now, although she feels the need to try to convince us that she's used to luxury and, she's used to just opulence at all times, regardless of what you had around you at the time, you were still broke because you got evicted, which means that you weren't actually saving. So here's the thing, right? There's plenty of people like even when it comes to real estate, they can do the equation and they'll probably say you can afford on a if you make 75K, they might say you can afford a $700,000 house. You get that house, you're absolutely going to be house poor. So you have this house, but you're truly poor. And y'all, there's a lot of people out here that you come across every day who have a nice car, have the nice house, have the nice clothes on, and they're poor. They're broke because they really shouldn't be doing that. When I do things because I truly, like if you see me do something, if you see me spend something, it's because I'm living below my means. So that means that I actually had to make exorbitantly more in order to even partake in certain things because ultimately I'm not going to risk my freedom. I'm not going to risk what's truly important. And it goes back to the humility part. I'm solid as long as I'm, focused on spirituality, growing and working out, getting a little smarter, progressing in something. And so I think this will be a great opportunity just to kind of get her head screwed on a little bit more, in a little bit more humble way, in my opinion. Not that, I'm trying to humble her or anything, but this might be divine intervention right here in the story of her life. And this might be a crucial chapter.
Educate you dumb motherfuckers when it comes to Section 8. For a person that used to be on Section 8. Section 8 goes according to your income. So stop motherfuckers saying that these people's out here paying $2 a month, $80 a month. No, the they not. If you are working and you are a full-time worker, Section 8 is taking 30% of your income. I know this because I used to be on Section 8. I was paying over $1,200 a month because of my income. You motherfuckers hit Section 8 and just sweeping down these mothers ain't got shit going for themselves. They paying $5 a month. Y'all don't know a motherfucking thing. And as far as people with food stamps, it's a lot of motherfucking people out here that's on food stamps that's working a full-time job.
Hmm.
Why is y'all so worried about what the other people got going on? They're paying in their taxes too to receive them motherfucking food stamps.
What?
It is so many people on this internet hollering about, yeah, now they can get their lazy ass up. Who the said that they wasn't up already? Who the said that they wasn't up? You motherfuckers get on here putting your 2 cents and shit and don't know.
She couldn't even get up to film the video in the bed with that thing on her head. She couldn't even get up and get herself together to film the video. Listen, we don't have to try to sit here and speculate and do all these things. People come online and they expose their own selves. So she knows that what she's saying is silly, as well as the fact that, okay, it takes a portion of your income, but if there's no income to take, then that's how people are abusing it because they intentionally don't work, right? Because they know that they'll be incentivized and that it's going to get paid for either way. So they figure, why even spend my time going to work? And people literally come online and they bring that up and they state that openly. So we don't even, there's no argument to be had here, man. People abuse the system all the time. We review it all the time, and that's just a fact. And you know what goes on, but you're coming on here trying to save face, just maybe because of your situation, which it sounds like you actually didn't even need it.
Here we are, eviction day, February 1st, the last day in my space of 4.5 years. Here's a recap of what went down. I spent the night in Oshawa, got to hang out with my friend Bird and my friends Kaylin and Brian because I didn't have a bed to sleep in that night. And this is what the storage unit looks like in my second to last run filling it up. I saw 999, of course, Evolution on my way to and from the storage unit. And I was actually supposed to leave for Columbus, Ohio that night, but I ran out of time. So I had to call a friend, stay on her couch after I finished everything. But this is the unit. Isn't it so freaking packed? It's wild how much stuff I own. And I got rid of so much too. I literally didn't finish packing up my car and the unit until 2 a.m. So I was really glad I reached out to my friend to sleep on her couch that night. And there we go. The unit is filled and ready to sit there for the next few months. And getting it locked up, it was so cold moving in sub-zero temperatures. It was literally 5 degrees Fahrenheit when I was moving, and you can see it in my cheeks. It was not exactly the best feeling. It was so weird to look at my space cleared out. This was my bedroom. I'm gonna miss this place so much. Goodbye, bedroom. And this was my kitchen, my red tile kitchen. I'm gonna miss this so much too.
That's a nice
cooked so
kitchen. I
many
like
lovely
that.
meals in there, washed so many brushes in the sink. And the red door. I'm gonna miss this red door. Gotta say goodbye. Also, a huge shout out to my community that super pulled through during this experience. It's been so hard. This was my art studio. There was art everywhere, and now there is no art. It is empty. It looks so freaking weird. Like, it was so empty that my voice freaking echoed. This is me saying goodbye to this space. I've been here 4.5 years. This is the longest I've ever been anywhere as an adult. I left the lights behind because they were sticky and I couldn't reuse them, and the landlord said it was okay. But here's me returning the key. By the way, this move on February 1st happened under a full moon, and I know that's a good sign and a time for letting go and change. And feel free to follow my nomadic journey. Here we are, eviction.
That's cool if you want to go on a nomadic journey, but why did you have to go on it by getting evicted, which means that you didn't pay somebody, as opposed to just waiting till your lease ended or paying out of your lease? You took advantage of the situation to have a little bit extra funds in order to fund your nomadic life. Now, this is why I don't try to really argue opinions for the most part, because what I've noticed, it's usually the people with the strongest opinions trying to convince you of their opinion, and then they don't get the right outcomes. I don't have to try to convince anyone of my way of thinking because I understand that I know I'm on the right track. I'm going in the right direction. And so I know my outcomes are eventually going to show that and reveal that. And I don't even care if you know about my outcomes because I'm going to actually live my outcomes. So I'm going to get to enjoy it. But, another person who decided that they wanted to have such nice things. Clearly, she got a nice contemporary style apartment, right? So that's what she decided to do. Living above her means because she wanted her art studio and she wanted to feel good. But you can't afford that. You're a struggling artist. So people just want what they want and they're going to do whatever they want to do. And the writing's on the wall. I can see it. You can see it, but they can't see it. And they're going to end up in situations like this because they're living so far above their means ultimately, which is common sense in my opinion. But Most people just don't have it, apparently.
Now listen here. I was really had no problems helping the people on public assistance. I didn't have no problem until this. I'm scrolling this damn TikTok here, and I see people bragging about being on
I love her hat. It says Blacknificent. That's pretty cool.
EBT housing that they ain't got to pay nothing. They got 4 and 5 bedroom house. Bragging. They look like they was able-bodied people that could get up there and get them a job. That's what they look like. They bragging about their kids eating lobster, shrimp on EBT. I worked 40 years to help pay into this system. My tax dollars take care of a lot of you people on this EBT, food stamps and everything, just as well as the other people who work. They tax dollars, and this ain't got nothing to do with politics right now.
Wow.
Nothing.
Believe it. It's clear that she had no idea this whole time that people were defrauding the system, and she'd been paying for 40 years. She was perfectly fine. But then she got on TikTok, and it completely shattered her entire world and her expectations. But she said what I usually say a lot of times, as far as just people coming on blatantly admitting to how they are taking advantage of something and making choices not to partake in working. We'll leave it there. I love her hat. I might start, if somebody asks me how I'm doing, I might start telling them I'm Blacknificent today. I like that hat. I've never heard that phrase used that way. So we'll leave it there for today. If you all could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second. It helps me more than you know. Also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where that helps smaller content creators like myself. And the more you hype, the more it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So if you could hype the video, you press the hype button just like you press the like button. I think it's only on mobile though. But you press the hype button and it'll show you my points. And they're giving out more points right now, it appears. So we can definitely run that up. And then also Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.